All right. 2 full hours of the Real Kyper Bourne show. We call this our wrap-up, the Olympic portion of our show.
And tomorrow's the wrap-up part 2, and then we'll have the wrap-up part 3, then NHL.
It is the Real Kyper Bourne show. We are live on Sportsnet 360, Sportsnet 590, The Fan in Toronto, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Also available Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Jake the Snake Schultz, Derek Brandeo with you to sort it all out as Jack Hughes scores in overtime, lifting the USA to their gold medal win versus Canada. Sammy, let me just start by telling you the doctor is in.
Oh, yeah?
Just
Lay
let it
couch.
out. Just let it
Dana's
all
coming
out.
today? Dana Sinclair's coming today or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just where do you want to start with your feelings?
Where do you guys want to start? Your guys' name are on the show. You talk first.
Well,
I'm listening.
I don't know. I gotta start with you. Like that kind of feels like we're Kyper in this thing.
You're right.
Okay, listen, we're going to dissect the
Yeah,
crap
I'm
out
gonna
of this
talk
thing.
about the
We know
hockey,
that.
but-
Tell us about your Sunday morning. How was it spent? What did you do?
Go to Real Sports?
No, I did go to Real Sports. Went to another establishment. I drank hockey games worth of beers. Had a coffee before.
So 7 o'clock, you had a coffee?
No, we didn't get there till 8. I mean, the subway in Toronto doesn't run till
Puck
8
drop
a.m.
was probably 8:10, 8:12.
So got there, was feeling pretty apprehensive about the game. I think I had maybe not said this on air to anybody, but I had definitely spoken with about you, Borny, that I didn't want to put this out there because I didn't really want it to be in the ether. But, eventually these things flip. Like, you can only win so many times in these scenarios. Like, eventually the other team's gonna win one in one of these spots.
Yeah.
And I kind of had that feeling looming over me for a week or so.
How about you?
In terms of,
Everything. Just
we had an awesome neighborhood get-together. One of our neighbors, Norez and Eddie, had the whole shebang over. So we sat there in full Canada regalia with another 10 adults and sat there with my son and all the kids downstairs
Beautiful.
in the basement watching.
Fantastic.
It was awesome. It was a great experience. It was a great hockey game. To Sammy's point, you're not going to win we're not entitled to winning every big close game for the next jillion years.
Yeah.
Good to throw them a crumb and keep them interested, but
Go the game.
Yeah.
Kipper, what did you
They
watch?
got-
just woke up, pajamas, watched the game.
Robe? Do you wear a robe?
No, I'm not
Any
a robe
beers?
guy. No
okay.
beers.
No beers?
No beers.
Knee-length robe and a beer.
This is
Any cold
this
ones?
is like the playoffs for me. This is like I cannot be in a room with
Yeah.
a bunch of people asking me questions or even listening to them sometimes. So I just needed to watch the game. Just me and my wife, and my oldest kid found his buddy somewhere and just hung out. Like most Canadians, I would think, would join in on what you experienced, and why not?
Yeah.
Those are far and few moments, right?
Yeah, it was awesome.
And yeah, I think it was pretty incredible to see how many people are out and about. I know it's a big game, but it's still 8:10 in the morning, and the city was buzzing. Everybody was out and about, and
Okay, so
it was great.
if you kind of went in a little apprehensive, and
Yeah.
you just said moments ago, these things flip.
Yeah.
You're just strictly basing that on like the percentages, right? It's
Yeah.
a percentage flip. But was there anything else that you saw through the last few games or the last week that would suggest to you that Canada was a little vulnerable?
I guess going to overtime against Czechia, I guess the way they kind of started against Finland, but in my opinion, they played their best game in the final. Like in terms of them, how good they looked against such an incredible opponent in the States, and for them to almost double their shots and look as good as they did. I know they missed chances and all this stuff, but by and large part, I think that's probably the best game they played all tournament. Would you guys not agree?
Yeah, I thought they were really good. There wasn't a ton of tests along the way for the U.S. either, obviously. So This is like the first time that may call it the second time where you see them exposed, where early on we felt against Czechia that they looked a little thin, against Finland that they felt top heavy at times. I get the sense where you're going with this is when you don't win or when you're in those moments, you start to question, did we bring the right guys?
This is what we do in Canada, right?
Sure.
You win, we
didn't win.
You get
What
the
happened?
roses, you get the glory. You don't. This is what we ultimately do. We've done it on anything historically of importance. when it comes to the game of hockey, we break down, we dissect.
Now, I don't think you could say here, and maybe you'll prove me wrong, but I don't think you can say they missed by much. Like, I don't think we're sitting here today going, they should have had 5 different players than they brought. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but listen, they're dominant against the best team in the tournament, gave themselves a great chance to win. Their goalie played great. They couldn't have missed by too much.
And they got big moments from depth guys in this tournament. Like, it wasn't like it was just the big boy.
Is that true?
Well, I mean, Nick Suzuki scores a tying goal against Czechia. Marner scores a game winner. Shea Theodore scores a tying goal against Finland. Like, their big guys were big in these moments. And the heartbreaking part about this is you want to sit here and talk about team selection and who they didn't take or who they should have taken, but it's Connor McDavid on a breakaway. It's Macklin Celebrini on a breakaway. It's Nathan McKinnon looking at a net that if he had norovirus and no legs, he should shoot that puck in the net. Like, whatever, you can talk about who they didn't take, but the heartbreaking part is it's the big boys that let them down. It's the 3 best players on the team on the ice when they lose in overtime. Like, I really have a hard time sitting here and blaming Doug Armstrong for who they took when they were right there and the big boys let them down.
Well, also, I don't like the idea of let them down because they create those chances. They earn the breakaways. They make enough good plays to get in those spots. But
you got it. Puck's got to enter the net, Justin.
Yeah.
I do have a problem with just thinking that this game was won and lost on McDavid and McKinnon and the missed opportunities. I mean, it does happen. It does lend me to think, though, over the course of what I've watched, especially in the last 3 games, that it really felt like John Cooper turned himself into Knobloch, the head coach in Edmonton, where he just said, I've got these horses. And essentially what I watched, I think, especially in the final, was they looked like a one-line team to me. It was Celebrini, it was McDavid, it was McKinnon or bust, to his point. And then kind of the finger gets pointed on them. Like, this wasn't the Oilers. This is not just Draisaitl and McDavid, Hyman, and maybe one other guy. This is the best of the best here. And it just felt like watching McDavid play 25 minutes for 3 games in a row and then going to him every other shift. It felt like just kind of ended up like an Edmonton Oiler game 6 or game 7, where it's like the guy's out of gas.
Yeah, and maybe that's the case. It's tough. Like, is 24 minutes in a game, an overtime game, too much for your top line? I'd rather err on that side than 21 minutes.
That's just the physical part you're talking about, but you're not factoring in the stress that comes with it. And it's like, okay, 1 game, 1 bounce, but it's also an accumulation of the 3 games. And you can't just look at the last 3 games of Team Canada and say that they're all separate and they all don't have anything to do with one another. They do. They do. When you are stressed in a quarterfinal game and then you need a Marner goal, you give it this one for 24 hours, and then you go into another stress scenario against Finland when you're down 2 goals and everybody's staring at you and McKinnon to dig them out.
They did.
And they did.
Yes.
And then you're asked them to do it again a 3rd time. These are 3 stressful games that had something to do with the outcome. It's just not the last game. And I didn't like the flow of the last 3 games between McDavid and their 13th forward.
Totally. And I think that's a super fair criticism. If you want to play the game where you're critical of who they brought, who they didn't, and I wrote this in my recap of the event, the guys that they brought, like I would have liked to have seen more offensive guys come over the boards. It had been nice to see Connor Bedard out there, Matthew Schaefer, Evan Bouchard. You know why? Everyone in those events is worried, doesn't want to be the guy to get burnt, so they pay attention to defense. They err on the side of defensive caution. So that kind of means you can take some riskier players. And I think we forget that guys are going to be super aware of not being the guy who gets burned. So then you're sending Seth Jarvis out and You didn't get much from Stone or Hagel or some of those guys at the bottom.
What did they
who were
play?
less
12
involved.
minutes? 10 minutes?
Sam Reinhart played 6:57. Stone, let's see if I can find him on here. Yeah, not
Stone
very-
played
Okay.
14:53. Marner 17.
Please tell me Sam Reinhart's better than 6 minutes. Please tell
The
me
13
he's better.
forwards thing stinks too.
Okay?
I don't
Please tell me he's better than that.
Did you think he was? Did you see a good shift where you were like, get him out there more?
I just, first of all, he's a 20-minute guy and a number one guy winning 2 Stanley Cups. I think, I don't know what the effect of feeling like one shift every 15 minutes does to him, how it makes him feel, the rhythm that he's used to the last few years, and then walking into that scenario. I don't know. I mean, no, he was not noticeable. He was not strong. He had a great redirect goal that was huge, but outside of that, you didn't get much out of him.
Yeah. I think it's a great point to say that if these guys played more consistent, would you have got more out of the guys at the bottom? That's possible. I mean, what?
If an almost biblical amount of things didn't go wrong in the last game,
Yeah,
we were
they
having
went.
a total. They filled in the second best team in the world.
Yeah.
Filled them in. Like, it was not, America looked like Finland for the whole game. Like, they had the first 10 minutes of the game where I thought they were fantastic. The first shift, they rolled it. And then from that point forward, Canada rolled, and it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't
See,
on
I
team
don't
selection.
buy that. I don't buy that. It was
wasn't-
not meant to be. I don't buy it.
So
I don't buy it.
You don't have to buy the spiritual angle that you're going at there, but I think there's a fair point that if you're that much better, you're going to win most of the time.
it's a one-game
Listen to
thing
me.
where
Yeah.
they had their best goal. The goalie stand on his
okay,
head.
Okay,
Like, I'm not outraged about this.
let me ask you something, okay? If I told you a week ago that Canada was going to meet the U.S., okay? And in this one-win take-all scenario, Canada wouldn't have one forward get a point. Goose eggs from Connor to the 13th forward. Would you have told me back then that you could still find a way to tell me that Canada deserves the gold if I told you not one forward would score a point?
Well, probably not. But, I mean, the way it played out, I mean, it's living at that time and living this time are two different things, Kipper. I watched the game.
I'm just telling you.
Like,
There's
what
no
do you-
world.
What
There's
do you
no
want me to
world.
say here?
I'm saying that.
Like, what is it that you want from me? You want me to be super upset about everything?
I'm not sure they absolutely deserve the win.
That's fair.
Okay.
Well, they
And I'm
obviously
not
didn't because
sure
they didn't win.
When you have a 5-on-3 for a minute and a half to put a team away, that you deserve the win.
I mean, if your point is that Canada didn't deserve to win, I think you're going to find a very small percentage of the country agreeing with you, like 5% or less.
I get it on the surface, a bounce here. I get all of that, but I think we didn't have the right guys.
Okay.
Okay. I think we didn't have the right guys.
And if McKinnon
Hold on, who did you want it to
but
be?
if McKinnon shoots it in the net, we did have the right guys?
You know, I look at that power play, and I would rather have revisited a better net front presence with Zach Hyman than 3 shooters. Celebrini, McDavid, and McKinnon all wanted to be on the perimeter. All wanted that open space to shoot the puck 20 feet, 30 feet. But I saw nobody stand in front of the net for a minute and a half. Okay. The other one
was like 50% till the final.
The other one that bothered me looking back, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, okay? But Drew Doughty couldn't play. 7th D. Please tell me why someone would be in a meeting for Team Canada and say that if we lost Makar or Morrissey, Drew Doughty can come in and fill that.
And you don't feel like that he could.
But they couldn't play him 6 minutes.
You know, the loss of Josh Morrissey ended up being a massive story in this. He played big minutes in that Four Nations for them. He's their only other puck mover, point getter.
It was
Theodore
it was
too,
just
they
a
don't trust him as much.
big mistake. And they got to wear it.
Mhm.
I like Drew, but Drew's at the end of his career. Drew couldn't play. Couldn't play.
But, I mean, we can have this.
There's
Before the tournament,
the
you were
point I interrupted.
before the tournament. We all were saying that he should be there because we were.
We went back on Schaefer. We did.
Schaefer
And Bouchard. And at the end, I said Bouchard too. Right? You needed one of those two guys to step in for Morrissey being out. Drew Doughty was not it.
So are you so result-centric that, to Sam's point that I interrupted before, McKinnon shoots at 1 in the net, they win 2-1 in regulation. They took the right guys?
I think
Yes.
I think we would have been in a situation where you're like, you don't have to answer that question, right? You don't, but we do now. We do. I think a better lineup would have left them with a bigger cushion to put the game away.
Do you think if you're watching that game, Kyper, you're thinking like, boy, I think Connor Bedard would belong in this game. Boy, I think this person would belong in this game. Like, that's such a big boy game. I don't know.
I do feel like the small guys went away. I thought, what's his name? Jarvis wasn't able to be as effective. Marner made some great passes.
Yeah, he
but,
did.
Quieted down a bit.
He should have set up the game, one of the game winning goals with Taves.
His pass to
Taves.
McDavid on the breakaway was all world.
And the pass to Taves.
And the pass to Taves.
He was good.
You
He
know,
had a couple good setups.
He was great.
Yeah, but the Hagel wasn't able to be overly effective. I just didn't feel like. You know who I liked? Bo Horvat all the whole way along.
Yeah, me
He was
too.
one of the few guys that I, from the bottom that I thought was consistently effective.
But
Stone was disappointing for me.
I think our D struggled.
Yeah.
Parayko struggled.
Yeah.
For sure. I think the people, when I'm watching the games throughout it, the ones that I was the most worried about when they were out there, Parayko definitely was top on that list. I think he said multiple times that he probably won't be involved the next time we do this. It felt the same way about Reinhardt a lot of the time he was out there. But
Schaefer would have been a difference
I
maker.
thought Sanheim played very well, for what he is. You're right, though, that Sanheim isn't who Schaefer is. But I thought for Sanheim, he was
and I think
very
we all
good.
agreed pre-tournament that Schaefer probably should have been there, and that if they had a retake after the December 31st thing, they probably would have taken him.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just heartbreaking to lose it to the States. I'd be lying to you if it just that part of it just sucks so bad.
Yeah.
But here's what I'll say: I don't come away from this game thinking to myself, "Oh, we're never going to beat those guys."
No. There's not. No, there's not that.
But that for me is the biggest worry when it comes to Canada hockey.
You're like, oh, they couldn't skate with them or something.
Or no, but for the future.
Mhm.
That for the next World Cup, whenever it is, and the next Olympics, my biggest worry would be is that
They're taking over.
Our men's team looks like what happens with the women's team now,
Mhm.
where we're not even in these games. It's a miracle that we're
That's not going to happen.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a rivalry.
Yeah.
They got one on us. They never get us, and they finally got one on us. And it took all of the hockey gods on every situation not letting the puck enter the net and have it go to 3-on-3 overtime and have Jack Hughes shoot in the net. Like, the amount of things that had to go right for them to win that game are astronomical. And they did. I know people want me to be super pissed and have all this stuff, but it was just so damn close.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
I thought going into it, there's a chance that it would be the Hughes brothers running wild, and they got the puck all game, and Kachuk's all over the place.
Play.
Jack played 13 minutes.
Yeah.
And took a brutal penalty with a minute left in the game that could have cost his country the gold medal.
There was a point in the third period where I was saying to the people around us, is so-and-so playing? And it could have been about any forward on the American team.
We do need to produce a few more defense, though, because how many defensemen on Canada would have made the USA blue line?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Besides McCarr.
I mean,
I'm just saying, those skill-wise, when you look at it, it's a hard. That's a blue line.
And meanwhile,
that's a blue line.
And meanwhile, they didn't touch the puck for 2 periods.
The one thing I did think about that, that blue line, Kip, I think we may have oversold that blue line a bit.
Totally.
That blue line is combined for currently 0 Stanley Cups. They're smaller.
I know.
They weren't able to control the power.
Werenski made a play in overtime that few guys could probably have made.
No, they have some
and that's the skill, and that's what you needed to. They were still insulated enough, right? And Bouchard probably would have been that guy that you could insulate and still have the ability to make a play like that. Yeah. And I think I think McCarr got a little stressed out. He was fantastic, but especially in the overtime.
Toe picked when he tried to stop the puck.
The read he made, if he does get a poke on it, McDavid is behind.
That's
the
what he tried. That was the read. That's
like
the read he tried to make.
We either win the game or we're cooked.
But why do you have to feel in 2 minutes you got to win the game or we're cooked?
Well, I think, Kip, it's a split second. Are we going for it or not going for it? And he chose go for it.
If I had one complaint hockey-wise about the game, and if you mentioned Cooper, I hate the way they approached the 3-on-3. I mean, when did they score? A minute 57 in? They were acting like it was a 5-minute period of 3-on-3.
I'm with you 100%.
I hated
It's like, why do you feel like you need to win it in the first minute?
McDavid, I mean, the way he drove down to he tries to blow him out wide. He doesn't have it, takes the puck, tries to force it to the front of that. He's caught deep, and that leads to everything going wrong. It just felt, he's wearing the C.
They wanted to go take it.
He's wearing the C. He's the fastest guy in the world. I understand all that. And the pressure of that and having that feeling of the golden goal being passed on.
He started with them, and then he went right back to him.
Double shifting them. I know.
And it's, again, you have...
3-on-3.
But
20 minutes.
You're 25 minutes in. The
He's
guy's
going to be sitting there for 4 shifts. Well, they get scored on. We're going to be going, how do you not put him out there?
Maybe he's resting. Maybe he needs a break. Maybe that's what having a team is supposed to do.
Yeah,
you don't just guys out. No, they have like they're supposed to have 12 best guys out there. This isn't, again, the Edmonton Oilers where you look down the bench and you go, oh, not a chance. I'd rather lose with you.
Can I ask you a question, though, to your point? When you're sitting there as a Canadian hockey fan, are you not like, please, more than 97?
Yeah.
Another 97.
He's been on the bench for a minute, had a sip of water.
How is Cooper, I guess, has to, Marner's good in 3-on-3. They tried them. They did it was Marner Celebrini. After Horvat wins the draw, they go to the Marner Celebrini thing. Then they go right back to McDavid.
Leave Horvat out there.
Yeah.
It looked to me like McKinnon was still thinking about the empty net he missed in overtime.
He had a tough one.
The hesitation. He's the one guy that would have been still thinking about the empty net goal like that.
Well,
if there's guys that things can kind of rub off, fall off their back, he's not one of them.
Hey, I was joking with Bunk. I was texting with him about it, and like for McKinnon, for the way he's wired, like that's going to be like Ray Finkel stuff to him. Like that's going to be like laces out.
But
he's never going to not think about that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to do to the rest of his season or even Colorado's.
Yeah, I
don't know how it's going to affect him.
Yeah, it's unclear. So I think the one thing we need to get to, so we've talked for 23 minutes here, no Sid. That 5-on-3 with Sid to grab a puck, control it, slow things down, get everyone in their spots. I just think
they lose that. They lost so many big draws.
He makes a play. I'm not saying Sid does something single-handed. He makes a play or two for them as a poised guy who's been there, done that in those moments. That hurt bad, boys. No Morrissey, no Sid hurt a lot. It had an effect. It did. So, ouch.
That's the game.
Yeah,
guys get
I know.
hurt.
It's one of the
guys leave. Guys get hurt. Next man up.
Gotta hit curveballs.
Suzuki came in, tried to eat up some of those minutes best he could.
Yeah, listen, Suzuki was fine, and he had a huge moment for Canada. A huge moment.
Yep.
But, he just wasn't that involved.
Yeah.
And to your point, maybe he should have been more involved.
How about Sid, at the end of the game, putting the jersey back on?
They're really going to trot him out there like that? Jesus.
No, that's Sid. No. That's not them. That's not them. That's Sid.
You don't think that's them?
No, that's him.
You think that's him?
That's Sid. If Sid didn't want to go out there or felt like, I'm not dressed, he doesn't go out there. That's Sid and the class act that he is.
Okay. If that's the case, then I like it. But
those poor guys getting handed a stuffed animal, man.
Is this the Olympics or is this like minor peewee Christmas tournament? Seriously.
Give it to him in a gift bag behind the scenes if you got to give it to him at all. But these guys just had their hockey dreams shattered.
What I wouldn't have given to see McKinnon just
I thought he might eat it. I thought he might just eat the whole thing.
It's humiliating.
It really was humiliating. That was an extra.
What is the
I can't even stand up right now, and I got to sit and wait for you to present 30 stuffed animals. What am I at the CNE? Did I win something?
Can I mean,
Did they just throw a dart into a balloon?
from the American perspective, just to give
Stoats? Is that what they're? Sorry.
just give a credit. The talk about the locker room stuff later. Maybe didn't love that clearly, but like the Gaudreau stuff is just heartbreaking.
Oh man,
and I have to. I thought
tip your cap to
I
the
thought
Americans for.
It was beautiful with Matthews carrying the jersey and his dad in the crowd, and it's just like
crowd. I don't want to talk about it now.
I have to tip my cap to that. I thought that was fabulous.
It was a beautiful moment for them,
So
the family.
And I mean, I got to eat it here big time too. How many times have I made fun of Connor Hellebuck
He's
for
fantastic.
absolutely blowing it in big? Imagine being a Jets Canada fan yesterday, being like, "Hey, bud, you figure one of those out at our rink."
You know what's funny is his numbers in like elimination games were sneaky good going into that, but he was truly unbelievable. I mean, he just looked like a giant. He battled. He really battled in the scrambles around the net. There's one that hops over that we don't even talk about that Matt McAvoy keeps out on the goal line.
There was 5 different moments in that game where you're like, "Oh, that's the moment that they're not going to win."
How about McAvoy's chest save or whatever was in the net?
I know.
Right?
I mean, this is the thing is like it just felt like they poured all they could at that
You
net.
got to give Binnington some credit too. I know some people don't like the game-winning goal, 5-hole, whatever, but
it's
like
3-on-3, man.
And he's coming down. He's coming right down right down the alley here. So, but he's just one save less.
Was it Matthews he got with the cross
Hellebuck.
ice? Was it Matthews he got with the cross ice glove save?
Great glove save in overtime.
Oh my God! It's like another one of these.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah,
I don't think Boldy was trying to put it where he did. He was trying to go back in 5-hole.
Anyway,
what a play
short
by the way.
side,
But to hack that through the D there, through Taves and McCarr,
he's a good player.
Pretty exceptional play by Boldy.
He's a good player. So I'm sure there's a lot of people expecting me to be a lot more bent out of shape today.
But it's like I just want to. You're not.
I'm just not.
It's like let's re-rack it.
No,
let's
drop
it
again.
again.
It is.
Drop it again. Let's go.
And again, 3-on-3. We're talking about like flipping a coin for goodness sakes when you're talking about all these guys. But just
one thing on the 3-on-3. I hated Coop whining about it in the post game. I hated it. You had way too many
we
opportunities.
did before though.
Oh, I know.
We've done it for a week and a
He's
half.
just saying whatever he's saying.
But post game, you had the way that game played out. You had way too many opportunities to end it in regulation to be talking about 3-on-3.
They asked him about it. He said it's not hockey. It's not hockey. I don't hate it as much as you do.
I just basically I hate giving fodder to the Americans for anything where it just like makes it look like we're crying, and it's just like that's what they usually do, and to have us do it, it's like I didn't like it. I didn't like it. 3-on-3 sucks though. Sucks, but what can you do? It's the rules.
All right, what do you want to do?
We could keep talking a little bit about it. I don't know. I think
we got Gord and we got a break.
Yeah, well, I mentioned this to Bourne before we go quickly. I think I texted Bourne about this yesterday. I think the Jays kind of broke me. I think you just can't.
Real calluses on people's hearts.
You can't break what's shattered, boys. Like I
God,
feel
this
like
is where the doctor comes back in.
No, but like what I feel like today.
Think there's something to this for a lot of people in Canada.
I mean, if you're listening to this, text in and tell me how you're feeling. But yesterday isn't even in the same galaxy as the Jays.
It just feels like the Jays got somewhere they never.
Canada's given me incredible hockey moments my whole life. I don't know.
It's not like we lost last night or the Jays lost with a home run competition.
Yeah.
Right?
Like that
or
was
fastest pitch.
That was the end of a 2-month every
Odyssey, yes.
Of like overcoming odds and big moments. And Canada is just like, we're the better team. We got beaten one game. And bummer. We'll get them next time.
And they got to play more than once. I'm sorry. If we're going to do these best on best tournaments, the Olympics got to figure out how to play these guys more than once.
But,
these guys have to play more than one time.
Meaning what? A best
Canada,
same group.
Canada, USA. Like
they got to play in the round robin or something.
Find a way. It's too good.
But the World Cup is going to happen 2 years from now. Well, we'll have Schaefer. You want Bouchard? You got him.
Wow.
You got him, pal. You asked for it. I'll remember that. I said I wanted him too. I'm the Evan Bouchard guy on Twitter. Like 3 months ago, I was like, Bouchard has to be on Canada, and Chris Pronger called me an idiot.
We did have we had ample conversations on Bouchard and do they have enough on the blue line?
And so yeah,
and that was real, and it ended up being a factor.
think so.
We got to go to break, but when's the last time we saw Austin Matthews smile like that?
That was nice to see.
Been a
I
minute.
can't believe we just didn't talk about Matthews.
Well, I mean,
we'll get there.
yeah, we'll get
We got Gord Stellick.
Yeah, I'll talk about with M. Stellick.
Stellicktricity, and then David Amber at the top of the hour.
Yeah, we just invited our friends.
Yeah, we actually, for the people at home, we were like, should we have an American guest on? We were like, absolutely.
Nah, let's just invite our friends instead.
More when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne. Welcome back to the program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. All right, let's bring in Gord Stellick, former general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, analyst for Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Gordo, how are you, my friend? How was your Sunday morning? Pancakes and a gold medal game.
Yeah, nice kind of breakfast early on. Watched 2 periods at a friend's house, then watched third period at home. We did an hour show on Sirius XM. So I, like everybody else, was disappointed, pulling hard. I loved the game, but I was not surprised by the result as it played out. I mean, just, Jim Gregory's a guy you guys both know. Maybe my favorite guy, the best guy ever. The guy, the late Jim Gregory, he was general manager of Leafs. He was head of central scouting. And back when nobody had cell phones and followed that stuff, he would be at a game and he would have a knack of any game, kind of seeing the ebbs and flows and predicting what would happen. It was a really, really neat knack. And I felt that yesterday just about, that you cannot miss all those kind of chances if you're Team Canada. You can't be coming from behind as well if you're Team Canada. Those little things that even though you outplayed them, quite often they bite you in the ass. So I wasn't surprised.
If we dig a little deeper than that, and we do most of the time when it comes to Canadians and the game of hockey, where are you on this lineup? Where were you? I mean, I just talked to the guys and I said, listen, we love Drew Doughty and everything and future Hall of Famer, but it was a big ask for him to come in and start eating up minutes left from Josh Morrissey's absence. Where were you overall on the players that went there? And hindsight's 2020, of course, but where are you on ultimately the lineup?
You saying I'm not a deep guy, that I just give puff answers? Is that the thing, that I can't go in
Well,
depth?
not on our show, but I have heard you on other programs.
Well, you got to kill 3 hours, man, whatever. But okay. Drew Doughty, what was the biggest thing they were missing? Goal scoring. They didn't score enough goals. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, Josh Morrissey, they missed. They missed Josh Morrissey. They missed Sidney Crosby. Was Nathan McKinnon 100%? It didn't look like it. So anyway, they had 2 big misses in the lineup, particularly Morrissey on defense when he was one of their top D. So all I can say is we always thought on Monday, whichever team lost, okay, that you would start quibbling about the makeup of the roster. Okay, I have zero quibble. The defense tandem that got beat were Makar and Taves. Okay, that was, I had them out anytime, anywhere, anyhow. The Canadian team did not get the Matt Boldy goal. A deaf player did not come up with the goal, whatever, all these other things. So, hey, what would Matthew Schaefer, would Scheifele, would Connor Bedard? No, I am okay about the makeup. Okay, Sidney Crosby gets hurt. And again, this idea of playing McKinnon center didn't seem to last very long. So they went away from the depth at center, and maybe it wasn't as deep as you would have thought at the end, given those guys not playing it. But I'm okay on the Monday after.
So one thing we didn't get to in the first half of our show is the Toronto Maple Leafs captain wins a gold medal. Really cool to see him post-game smiling, relaxed, having some laughs. I've talked to, I was telling McKee this, talking to Daryl Sutter. He's talking about Owen Nolan when he played for the San Jose Sharks and how frustrated Nolan was there, having a tough time. Nolan gets picked in 2002, wins a gold medal, and he came back, and Daryl said he was relaxed, satisfied, like it felt like he had a chance to win something, and that helped him out the rest of the way there in San Jose. Could this be something that helps Auston Matthews as he goes forward in his career?
By the way, nice takes on things, Justin, and sportsnet.ca. You always do. So you had some good takeaways about that. Okay, so Matt Sundin was the captain, and they won a gold medal. I know it was Sweden. They didn't play Canada in the final. And there seems to be some, animus for some Leaf fans about this because it's USA, it's whatever. Hey, last year, Auston Matthews took his lumps about being asked by Kevin McGran about, hey, you were on for the goal. Mitch Marner scored against. So I really do hope he gets appropriate appreciation about that. Just like, Nathan McKinnon would have gone back to a great Colorado team, and Makar with a goal with Team Canada if it happened. So to your point, Justin, Daryl Sittler always talks about, I'm going to end with 1976, but success at the Canada Cup then put him and Lanny McDonald in a better category, and they never look back. Mitch Marner last year gets a big goal. No, now Auston Matthews does. So I hope you got Auston Matthews, Connor Hellebuck, and Jack Hughes. They're all going back to bad situations. Connor Hellebuck, Winnipeg Jets fans are, let's do it here. Jack Hughes, everyone's saying, what the hell's going on with New Jersey? They're slip sliding away. And Auston Matthews, a Leaf team with a disappointing season so far. So let's hope that can be the case. But I'll tell you, I'm getting tired about Leaf fans getting the crap kicked out of them. It's become a big joke. Brutal. You know, you got like Hughes saying it, Stone saying it, like, what, it's our fault? We ran Mitch Marner out of town? Did you pay for games 5 and 7 for Florida last year? Like, what are you talking about? And then giving the same shots after Austin Matthews won. We take so much crap. We are abused and beaten fans who show up all the time, pay top prices, and then, oh no, it's impossible here in this frickin' coddled environment they set up for so many years. Oh my goodness. So anyway, let's get back at it. Let's build off that gold medal for Austin Matthews and hopefully get to the promised land, a better place in the playoffs. And that's pretty feasible. That's a great comparable you mentioned about Owen Nolan. And why not for those that had elite performances?
Gord, where is that coming from? I mean, we've heard players defending Mitch Marner. We've heard from Stone. Now we've heard from, the Hughes brothers. Like, where does that come from?
Because we're the best hockey city in the world. And that's not nana. It's just, Toronto. Like, you remember you'd get people on from like Vancouver and Edmonton, Calgary. One of the first things they'll say is, well, in Leaf Nation, like John Garrett would do it for fun, whatever. So it's kind of like you're the New York Yankees or you're the LA Dodgers about it. I don't mean winning all that, but, as far as the hockey interest, par none. So, there's nobody else there. There's a lot of great hockey cities. There's a lot of great Canadian hockey cities. There's American, but there's nothing like Toronto. And I don't know, so it's kind of fun to poke the bear. They know it's a rabid media in some cities where you're lucky to get one podcaster and one Twitter guy out for practice, so they know. So Brad Marchand's great at it. You say something and whoa, it just goes and gets everybody going. And then we turn on ourselves and say, well, who would want to play here? Like anybody and everybody, okay, should. You ask the great alumni, Kyper, you're one of them, but you ask, so I get tired of that. It pisses me off. Whatever, and let's just hopefully at some point have that kind of playoff and move on from it. So what's happened has happened. It's not the fans' fault. It is fact. 9 consecutive years in the playoffs. Phenomenal team. Phenomenal regular season team. Exciting team. Entertaining team. Full value. Flashes of playoff enjoyment. Relative small success. But at the end of the day, not able to do what Austin Matthews and his gang did yesterday, or Mitch Marner and his country did the year before.
Yeah, no, that's great. Sam was really into your answer there. I do, I know that some people. I read Anthony Petrilli's piece, and he talked a bit about Mark Stone taking a shot at Toronto while wearing, the Canada jersey. So it didn't sit particularly well with him anyway, and I think some other people didn't really appreciate that as, a big part of the people rooting for Canada. Not a fun place to take a stab. So Captain Canada's not in. Sidney Crosby doesn't get his chance. 13th forward was available to us. He must have been pretty hurt to not play. Did you feel, I don't know, Gord, I kind of felt like I would have liked to have him just sitting on the bench if he could go and give us, Reinhardt 6-7 minutes, but obviously he didn't feel like that was best for the team.
Yeah, so the comparable I used, and you're right, Justin, was Steven Stamkos, that game in the bubble where he finally played
257 and scored.
Yeah, and ideally, if you scored a goal, it would have been a bonus, but just that kind of inspiration, and set up that way with the 13th forward, because you roll 4 lines, and in some cases, the 13th forward's a pain sometimes to try to fit them in certain circumstances. But I will say that the way Connor Hellebuck played, even a 50-plus goal scorer like Nick Kypreos in junior, or Sidney Crosby. Well, I said plus, okay? I know, okay. Whatever.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, the officiating wasn't so good back then. You were in the crease all the time, whatever. So it should have been like 30. But anyway, it was Connor Hellebuck's day. And that trumps. That wins everything. When your goaltender is that, and when you miss the glorious chances on top of his great saves, to me, that's a difference maker. Sidney Crosby or no Sidney Crosby.
Did you say Trump?
Yes. The Bauer. Let's do the Bauer. The Bauer in Euchre. You're correct. Yes, the Bauer. By the way, I take American history, the separation of powers, the Supreme Court, all of a sudden, that's an interesting weekend for those that take a little bit. I enjoyed it. But anyway, I viewed that as a positive step. We move on.
Overall, Gord, the thought of now, 2 years from now, the World Cup coming, did it do everything it was supposed to do 12 years later? The Olympics for the NHL?
Yeah, it did. I think in some case, Kipper, absence made the heart grow fonder. So, I mean, every 2 years coming, we got kind of a Ryder Cup setup. Well, it's not quite the same. It's kind of like, the Olympics and then kind of the Olympics, whatever. But it seems like everyone's in sync about it. I think what we've come to understand, it can't be in September. Okay. It just doesn't resonate the same. It's got to be in hockey season, whether it's what's it going to be, a 6 or 8 nations challenge next time. And then the Olympics. And so, yeah, I think it did it. And in all honesty, USA was overdue. They were overdue. I mean, since 1980, they've had a great hockey program for a long time. I think the next thing, Kipper and Justin, everyone, particularly, again, we don't care in Toronto as much because we're the best hockey market. And again, like going back to things, it's here. It's all the other places that are saying, trying to quantify, how's it going to grow the game? Are more people going to buy tickets? Are they going to spend more money? Are more people going to take up hockey? I don't know. That's tough to quantify. All I know myself is, I don't know what you guys feel, the Olympics, summer or winter. So for 2 weeks, you put 5 rings there, and I'll watch rhythmic gymnastics. You want to know if it's the year of the ribbon or the ball. 3 years and 50 weeks, I'll watch nothing. Okay, I will watch nothing. So I don't know how much that applies to hockey or not.
Ski mountaineering?
That was, wow. That was different, huh?
That was
event. Different. Yeah.
Electric theater. That should be the new closing event before the closing ceremonies.
Well, I thought they should play the Rocky theme when you run up the stairs too. Like it had that kind of feeling.
Contact should be allowed, Gord. You should be a battle to the top.
Yeah. Well, hey. And again, I talked about it last time. Who was the biggest story here beyond hockey? Us badass curlers. Okay. We take no crap from anybody. And whatever, if Swedish people want to pile on and say we cheat, we'll tell them. And no one
sure told old Oscar to stuff it, didn't he?
That's right. Anyway, it certainly got a little bit of edge in there for a couple of days till things calmed down. Hey, and those were nice wins. I mean, you know what? In all seriousness, Brad Jacobs, big win, and Rachel Holman, that was a really good bronze. Because she had a tough go to get there. So, silver, I know Drew Doughty kind of showed. He took his medal off right away. Nathan McKinnon, man, he did not like that little teddy bear very much at all, whatever it may be. But, in the case of the bronze medal, sometimes when you have to earn it in a game, you go off as a winner. It's a bit of a different feel.
Am I missing something that the teddy bear presentation has been there all along and I just noticed it now?
I don't think it's a new thing. It's still just a silly thing. Just because it's been there doesn't mean it's great.
But is it always a teddy bear, or is it something the host country decides they're going to give? Like, I don't remember a teddy bear per se, but yeah, I do think there's some kind of token about it. So yeah, it seemed like they're rubbing in your face when you're getting the silver medal. You're lining up there. Oh, and here's your teddy bear.
Well, you want to know where you can put that?
Yeah. You want to know where you can put that teddy bear, buddy? Whatever, as they shake hands. So anyway, that was kind of because I love the genuineness, the raw emotion, and it's so quick right after. And really, I mean, Team Canada. I mean, this thing about being proud or whatever, they should. I mean, it was a great battle. It's what we hoped for. It took a little bit of blood pressure and heartbeat, irregular heartbeat to get there. I mean, those other games were a little too difficult. Like I said, you were chasing in the quarterfinal, the semifinal, and then chasing in the final. And this is the team that had held the lead in Olympics for like hundreds and hundreds of minutes going back to 20 or never been behind for hundreds and hundreds of minutes going back to 2010. So it ends up being a bit of a different dynamic. To go back to the puff answer I gave Kippy in the first place.
Do you think that the Olympics would revisit a 20-minute 3-on-3? Do you think it should, or do we just need to accept the way it is?
No, it's going to.
Well, whatever the rules are, there were the rules, and I think it's going to be this way. So yes, accept the way it is. If you could argue that 4-on-4 wasn't the right way to do it when Sidney Crosby scored in 2010. I still would prefer more players on the ice if you ask Gord Stellick, but 3-on-3 is a fact. I don't like it. Maybe just because I'm not used to it in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Maybe it is the right way to do things, but I still don't like it, but it's reality.
Before we let you go, Mac and Celebrini going into this event, we were like, he should make the team, I think, right? He probably should. And it was like 9 seconds into his first shifts. We were like, he should be on the ice all the time. Like, he played a ton, and they needed him.
I think he played too much.
Well, that's fine if you think he played too much, but he was... If your takeaway from that event is he played too much and not, holy crap, that guy's as good as the best players in the world.
He's one of the best players.
Unbelievable. Sure, give him 18 if you want, but.
Well, Justin, they talk about the emphasis, both countries, on experience, but really shows youth be served. And, the young talent, they won't be kids anymore, but Connor Bedard, Matthew Shaver, Celebrini in 4 years, whatever. But also, if you got a player like that and you're whatever country next time, you lean towards taking that player. And maybe, Kippy, when we started off, Matthew Shaver, okay, one is a wild card. Yeah, I could see that. But again, I'm not today quibbling about one or two particular choices.
Great stuff as always, Gordo. Thanks for doing this, pal.
See you guys. Take care.
Thanks, Gordo. You too.
Wow, that was electric. Stellick just came in hot today.
We would have just said not a chance that Celebrini is going to come in and play 24 minutes. It was unbelievable.
Every loose puck, he is all over, and he makes the right plays, and he's not afraid of the moment.
He had between the hashes with about a minute left on that power play. Had Hellebuck slide the wrong way, and he missed the net.
He missed his shot, too, on his breakaway.
Trying to go 5-hole.
Well, he's trying to go, stick heel and skate triangle. And, he just missed it too far to the toe.
And Connor on his breakaway?
He was tired.
What did you see?
Pretzel. Stick-handle himself into a pretzel.
He tries that move all the time where he quick backhand back to the forehand, and Hellebuck's just too big. And he didn't bite on it, and he had a little bit of back pressure.
He didn't execute the move well, though.
No.
He didn't.
Tough.
That was tough. Celebrini did have a bunch of looks from that spot and missed the net a few times. That's he's in a good place there, though.
I liked Gord's answer about the Matthews stuff. I thought it was pretty funny. Like, literally a week ago, all of America and American media were like, "What this Austin Matthews guy? Could he do something?" And now they're all like, "You guys are so hard on him." I thought it was a pretty quick flip. It's like, he was leading the team in points for a while.
But it wasn't like there were the American fans that were all over.
That's
him,
what I mean.
Right?
That's
then
my
they
point.
turned it into a Toronto thing.
Yes.
I know.
It's like they were being so hard on him for the entire tournament, and then they win. They're like, God.
But it's the players, though. It's just we're talking about the players, not the fans.
Well, the American fans are all over us for it. Or all over him during it, and now they're all over us. It's the way it is.
It is. It was remarkable how many just stray bullets hit Toronto during the Olympics. And it was like, what is going on here?
Did you like Gord's answer?
Loved it.
They're just jealous
I think there's
of the attention.
They hate us because they ain't
I don't
us.
think hockey players want the attention. I think a lot of them look at it as a big scary thing, and they like to make fun of it because they're afraid of it.
Before we go,
That's not a good thing for the Leafs, by the way.
No, but
No,
but it says more about hockey players than it does about Toronto.
I think more important to get your
Well, we
thoughts
don't
before
know.
we go on Matthews.
We
And,
can do it in the national hour too. We have tons of time.
okay, save that.
Yeah, I think we have 1 minid, so we should probably hash that out a little bit after Amber. Or do it with Amber as well.
We need more than 60 seconds.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, we
Go.
do.
We're just. Where'd you want to go?
I was
Your
happy for
thoughts
the
on
guy.
Matthews' performance?
I was happy for the guy.
I thought he had an amazing first period.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was one of the better players in the first period, the start, and then he kind of faded. But the whole team kind of faded.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he produced points.
Does it change how you feel about him as a leader or a winner?
Well, we'll talk about that. We got lots of time. in the
More
next hour.
after the break.
Okay, David Amber, studio host, Hockey Night in Canada, NHL on Sportsnet, will join us next when we return. Real Kyper and Bourne goes national. Welcome back into the national hour of the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. We are live on Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver, 960 in Calgary, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Always available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Keep the chats rolling. Give us a thumbs up if you get a chance. Love you being part of the program. This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. In a few minutes, we'll welcome in David Amber, studio host of Hockey Night in Canada, in the NHL on Sportsnet. As we continue to dissect a disappointing loss to the U.S.
You mentioned the YouTube chat. That is not a place I like looking right now. No. Lot of Eagles, lot of American flags, lot of...
That's okay.
Hey, listen.
That's all right. Let them have their moment.
You know what I would be doing?
The
same thing. This is what sports are about. They're gloating. They should be gloating. That's the point.
The one thing that we haven't talked about in the first hour, Kip, that is absolutely essential. Someone on the streetcar today told McKee or the subway that he looks like Matthew Tkachuk.
Wow.
Now, there's a lot of times that might be like, oh, okay, I don't see it, but whatever. But the day after the Americans win gold.
I am Teflon. You can say anything to me. I am the least easily offendable guy. Offendable?
People listening are not going to believe that because they've heard you talk about sports.
Yeah, but like in the real life, you could really say anything to me and I'm not really going to get offended. I looked at this woman and was like, what did you say? I have never been more disgusted. I said, today of all days? And then she's like, he was even on the team. I'm like, right. Did he play? Oh, I didn't notice him out there. Did he play? I'm not sure.
It's also just such a bad call.
Regardless if you think he played or not or how he looked.
He plays between whistles.
Is there another guy in the history of our game that can poke the bear more than Matthew Tkachuk?
Yeah, I'd say Marchand.
Yeah, Marchand probably.
Still Marchand worse?
Oh, now? Like right now.
Right now.
If like we're talking about a career achievement award here, I'm giving it to Marchand over Tkachuk. Okay. But like at the,
all right,
I guess
they're running toe to toe.
Yeah, he's certainly the Draisaitl stuff. I think cemented it for a lot of people.
The plan was for the NHL players to come back to New York City, land, and then figure out their own way to get home.
Mm.
Almost 20 inches of snow in New York, pushed the plane down to Miami.
Yeah.
Where
I think that was planned pre-storm.
No, it was not.
Not going to make a joke that I really came to the top of my head about a snowstorm.
What's interesting now is the invitation for the USA team to go to the White House.
Mm-hmm.
State of the Union, President Trump he's invited the team there. It's debatable on which players will go, which players can go and get back. Some of them, including the captain, Austin Matthews, has a game Wednesday night.
Good to get politics back involved. It was too fun when it was just
sports.
They're going to 11 nightclub tonight. They're having a huge party at 11 nightclub.
Forget about politics. Just from simply logistics on who can get there and actually come back and be ready to play Wednesday night has put some of the players in a tough predicament.
Not that tough.
No,
just don't go. You don't need to be the president's State of the Union for. He does.
I don't think they're not going to get the whole team. I had heard a few players have already said no, but it'll be interesting.
I mean, I think we could probably pick out the guys that are going to go.
But,
they love.
I'm for the women's team for not appreciating the way they were talked about and saying beat it.
Bill Guerin already gave his guys a green light, but come on, he knows he's going to the playoffs. He knows there's a comfort zone for the players to take the rest of the week off.
Like if the Leafs ever lose again, they're out of playoffs. They can't.
But
they need their dude.
I don't know. Does the captain of the USA team go, or does he stay in Florida and prepare for 2 games?
I am fascinated to find out.
I think the fact that they're in Florida and they play 2 games in Florida. I think
to leave Florida
is
no way he goes.
I think there's a world right now where I don't know if Amber's there or not. So where Toronto Leaf fans, like Canada Leaf fans, are somewhat happy for Austin Matthews, like myself included.
You're so right. He could totally blow this.
It could bad.
Yeah, this actually
this is it's not exactly the rosiest relationship with the United States right now. And it's one thing I understand. He's the president. I'm not going to get into politics. If you love the guy, you got to, whatever.
Yeah.
But like for him to leave if they weren't playing in Florida, it's one thing. But the fact that they're here, they're going to be there, and he flies out.
Into a snowstorm.
His approval rating, people are like, oh, he won something. Like, I know it was against us, blah, blah, blah. If he flies to go see Trump, people are going to hate him. It's gone.
Facts.
All right, we got David Amber.
Politics, David? Let's go.
David Amber, host of Hockey Night in
David,
Canada.
your thoughts on Cash Patel?
I've walked into a Hornets game. How are you?
You have a little bit. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. I don't think you want to start there. If I
Do you think they should use taxpayer money to fly to Milan?
I'll pass on this.
The military jet. Are you okay with the players using that? Okay.
All I'll say is this: Sam's point. I'll dispute one part of it. If Austin Matthews flies out, does his thing with President Trump, comes back and scores a hat trick against Tampa, no Leaf fan will be upset.
But if
just have to deliver.
But it has potential to be Vince Carter's graduation. We kind of need you in this moment.
Well, I mean, game 80 against the Lightning versus game 7 is a little different.
Touche.
All right, DA, where do you want to start in terms of how you felt about Sunday overall here? And was it strictly just not getting the bounces? They got goal lead and leave it at that. Canadians tend to go a little deeper. Where do you want to go?
Yeah, well, I want to start by saying glass half full, guys. That was exactly the theater, the drama. The ending wasn't what Canadian hockey fans wanted, but the actual game itself was fantastic. It was exciting. It was, everything we could have asked for. I've said this numerous times. Sports is the best reality TV there is, unscripted, impossible to predict. And who could have predicted that Connor Hellebuck would have the game of his life and steal a game for the U.S.? We can't be selective in our memory. It was a year ago that Jordan Binnington stole 4 nations from the U.S. So this notion of, Canada deserves it, we were robbed and all this, that's sports. That's what makes sports so fantastic. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's going to make that play. The Wednesday before the Olympics started, we did our hot topic on our Wednesday night show, and it was, what storyline are you most looking forward to? And for me personally, I said, I can't wait to see who's going to have their Micah Ruzioni moment, their Sidney Crosby moment. And it ended up being Jack Hughes and Connor Hellebuck. And, listen, we witnessed an incredible spectacle. I watched with my 2 kids, and my daughter, who's an average hockey fan, she couldn't take her eyes off the screen. She was like, that was so exciting. She was so upset and despondent that Canada lost. But my point is, it was a great, great game. Canada played incredibly well. We should be very proud of how they performed throughout the tournament. They gave it everything they could, as did the Canadian women. And what do you know? That's sports. Sometimes you come out on the right side of things. And I'm sure there was a lot of moments there that could have turned that game around. I'm sure we can dissect all of them right now if that's what you guys want to do. But at the end of the day, between Connor Hellebuck and Jack Hughes and the American team, they pulled off the victory, and it was well-deserved because they did what they had to do. And for Canada, it was a matter, as you said, some bad bounces, some bad luck, not finishing some plays. And sometimes that's how it goes. Now, the question is will that game for your daughter now make her watch you Wednesday night? Nothing will do that.
I'm gonna guess no.
Come on.
That feels like a no.
All right, so it's just one and done then.
Yeah, so, she liked the one game. I'll see you in 4 years.
Yeah. We're really good as a species at telling ourselves stories about why things happen, right? Like, had one of those Canadian shots go in, Doug Armstrong picked the right team, and Cooper coached it perfectly, and the lines were all great, but we didn't. It didn't happen. So there is some second guessing that is going on. A little of it is just maybe one more offensive D-man, Schaefer, Bouchard. Do you feel like we're going to treat ourselves to a little bit more of that offense in the next one?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, a lot of armchair quarterbacking. Trust me, my texts were blowing up with guys. We haven't had this guy on there. I can't believe they left that guy off. I can't believe that play. I can't believe that line matchup. And yeah, that's sort of what we do. We love the game. We're passionate about the game. Part of the plan wasn't for Josh Morrissey not to be there, right? You had Cale Makar and you had Cale Makar light in Josh Morrissey, a puck-moving defenseman, can get up on the rush, has offensive capabilities. The other defensemen, by and large, when you look, at their resumes, they're stay-at-home, honest defenders. And I think they played that game well. I think Canada defended pretty well. If you look at the shots, high danger chances, etc., the inner slot shots, everything else given up in that final game, it was all dominated by Canada. They defended incredibly well. Josh Morrissey was a loss for the Canadian team. And maybe if Schaefer had been chosen, maybe he could have slotted in there. Maybe Jacob Chikrin, who I know we debated on this show about the merits of his resume. Yeah, there's a lot of second guessing, but it does seem, a little convenient, right? I mean, they had the abundance of chances to win. The expected goals were 5.8 to 2 or something. I mean, as we gave Jordan Binnington his flowers a year ago at Four Nations, we really have to just say, wow, Connor Hellebuck, performance of a lifetime. I mean, it was the greatest single U.S. goaltending performance in international play ever, is what a lot of Americans who follow these things closely are saying. And I, it's hard to dispute that. The save on Taves, the 2 breakaways. Who would be the 2 guys if Canada was having breakaways? We'd go, well, I hope it's these 2 guys, Connor McDavid and Macklin Celebrini. They got clear-cut breakaways from the blue line in, and were stopped both times. So, we have to just acknowledge that, I think. Do you guys think the makeup of the team was wrong? Yeah, there could have been other, the Scheifeleys, the Bedards, whoever. Like, there's a whole myriad of guys who could have made cases to be on the team, but I'm not sure they had the wrong guys there. They played well enough to certainly come home with the gold.
Yeah, certainly over the course of history, we've done that many, many times. We closed off our first hour just talking a little bit about Austin Matthews and potentially what a win like this could do for him. On the other side, we see Connor McDavid, Stanley Cup Finals, falling short a couple of times, and now a little bit short on a gold medal. Can you talk about what this Olympics did for Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid moving forward?
I mean, I guess we're going to see, Nick. It's hard to say. I'd like to think from Austin Matthews' standpoint, he doesn't seem like a guy who eats up everything that's said about him or written about him. The way it seemed to affect Mitch Marner, just being in this spotlight and having that much scrutiny and intense scrutiny game in, game out hasn't seemed to affect Austin Matthews. His play has certainly fluctuated, but I'm not sure it's because of media attention or fan attention, etc. But I'd like to think he's going to have the greatest level of confidence, moving forward. He can now say, I'm a champion. I've been there. I captain something that was historic for my country. That there's not many things bigger than that. Certainly that could be a big boost for what he could bring to the Maple Leafs. We heard Craig Berube say, yeah, I'm so happy for him. I'm proud of him. And maybe this could be that thing that elevates him. And Connor McDavid, I just feel horribly for him, right? I feel horribly. I still don't think the final chapter's been written. He is going to go out a champion. I feel that. I just think it's in his DNA. I think he will do everything in his power to make that come true. And I just feel it will come true eventually. But I'm devastated because he also was there staring down Jack Hughes scoring the winning goal after he went, tried to kind of dance through 3 guys to score a goal in the overtime, which I don't blame him for. I totally understand why he would do that. We saw Mitch Marner do that a few games ago quite successfully. And if anyone can dance 3 guys and put the puck in the net, it's Connor McDavid. So I just feel bad for him. I don't think it's going to change his legacy. I think there's still many chapters to be written in that. And I certainly, for his sake, hope that's the case.
Yeah, no, he's performed amazing in a lot of big moments, and he certainly is the guy that changes the flow of the game for everyone else and makes it easier for them. So he deserves a lot of credit. It's interesting because Nathan McKinnon is a Hart Trophy winner, a Stanley Cup champion, debatably a Hart Trophy favorite to front runner this year in the NHL. But he didn't have as good a tournament as Connor McDavid. And I know he was sick for a while, potentially other injuries. We don't really know exactly what he was going through. But I am curious to know how this affects him going forward. Because you look at that game, he's on for the OT winner. He misses the empty net. There's one other one in there that I feel like he'd be frustrated about. But either way, it's like he just seemed really frustrated. Did he not?
Yes. Yeah. He seemed agitated pretty much the whole tournament.
-2 at the Olympics somehow.
You know what I would say? I'll go even bigger picture, guys, and I'm not going to try to play junior psychologist here, but I do wonder, the Colorado Avalanche has just been smooth sailing all the way this season. They're the Stanley Cup favorites. Mm-hmm. Look at what happened to their 3 players in this gold medal game. And this isn't to put it on them, but I just mean psychologically. Taves and McCarr get danced incredibly by Matt Boldy in the first goal. You see that happen. You see McKinnon missing the empty net. You see Taves have the opportunity of a lifetime, the save by Hellebuck. I just wonder psychologically how these guys are going to feel. And McCarr had the sort of slow back check on the game-winning, gold medal winning goal for the U.S. Again, I'm not putting anything on these guys because they're some of the best players in the world, and they, obviously were a big reason Canada was right in the position they were in to win gold. But I do wonder psychologically if they're going to carry any of that baggage back to their NHL team, and if this is going to derail at all Colorado's chances to be sort of the front runner to win the Stanley Cup. That's a storyline to at least, have in the back of our minds moving forward.
What do you think he did with that stuffed animal?
I can hear Sam in the background. That's the best part. What do you think he did?
I think some poor Italian official has been forced to consume it bite by bite.
I don't think he made it on the trip home.
No, that actually made me laugh. And, he's like kind of giving it the stink eye. And it is a weird, it's the Olympics. It's kind of, it's these traditions that they've done for,
so
100 plus years.
It's interesting. I find it interesting. You wonder how this could move forward here. And David, there's no time. We were just talking about guys, if they're actually going to go to the White House and think that they can play Wednesday night or Thursday night. And if they do, what kind of shape are they in to perform? We only got roughly 25 games. Some teams have the luxury of sitting a few guys out, like Minnesota, and others are like, boys, we need you on top of your game right away here. Should we be worried about how these guys come back and what we're asking them to do in a short period of time?
Well, think about the sprint to the finish. So use the Leafs as the example. In the next 50 nights, starting Wednesday, they have 25 games. They're maybe in a better position than some other teams, right? They only had Nylander, OEL, and Matthews at the Olympics. They only had 3 players. Some teams had 9, 10, 11 players, right? Tampa, who they're playing on Wednesday, Kucherov's been sitting out chilling for the last couple of weeks, and he's been on this incredible run, as is Vasilevsky has been able to relax. I think it's going to impact some teams. And needless to say, Fiala's gone for the year. Crosby, I'm not sure what his status is moving forward, but he's clearly injured now. And a few other players. And as JB alluded to, whether it's McKinnon or Marchand, there's a lot of speculation that a few guys are going to miss some amount of time moving forward. So it has maybe completely changed the dynamic of where the Stanley Cup playoffs, the complexion of how they're going to look in 2 months. It's such an interesting season. Hey guys, the compressed schedule, the Olympics, and everything that brings, and not just physically the toll, but what about emotionally? How are you? You're whomever. You're Jake Gensel, and you were playing for gold a few days ago, and now you're, it's game 52 versus the Maple Leafs. We're first in our division. How do I even approach that on the same mental level? So I'm really interested to see how guys adjust. And certain teams like Tampa, Colorado, Florida, where half their roster were at the Olympics, it's going to be very interesting to see how those teams specifically do moving forward.
All right, D, I'm going to go off the board here, and I'm trying to sell you something that Sam McKee pitched off the air. Enough of the Olympics, the World Cup. We just need a summit series with the Americans. With just 5 games, best of 5. We'll play a couple in Toronto, a couple in New York City. 5 games. Let's go. Would you be in on that over the World Cup? Sweden and Finland can do their thing in Stockholm and Helsinki. What do you think? You want it? Best of 5. Like Playing 5 games anyway.
I like it. NHL rules. I like it. Listen, it would be incredible theater. I don't think it's a bad idea. Right now, those two teams, that's the rivalry.
Yeah.
That's what everyone wanted to see. We talked about it on your show before. Like, that was the dream matchup, and it didn't disappoint. We've now had U.S. versus Canada, for all the marbles twice in a year span, and both games have been absolutely incredible, must-see TV. Imagine 5 of those. It would be nasty. It would be incredible skill level of hockey. It would be a dream come true. I'm not against it, and it's not a matter of shutting out everyone else. But right now, as it stands, U.S. and Canada, there's no greater rivalry in hockey. That's for sure.
Yeah, in our era, David, we're roughly the same age. Well, maybe I'm a little older than you, but it was Canada.
Same vintage.
It was Canada, USSR, now Russia, and for the kids today, it's all about Canada versus the U.S.
I just feel like a gambler who just lost all his money, though. I'm like, double down. Let's go. Let's go again. Run it again.
Right?
Well, until this stretch here, and I'm not sure where I want to put this exact stretch because it just happened. But to me, the best hockey I ever saw was the 87, the rendezvous, the 3-game series, right? Canada, Russia, 6-5, 6-5, 6-5. Gretzky, Lemieux, Howard Chuck with the pick, and Murphy, like all of it. It was just fantastic. It was amazing. And that was like beating our bitter rivals, from Russia. That's how this feels now. And to have this served up 5 times, or best of 7, whatever they could muster, the players would be all for it. It would be a cash cow for the NHL.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see
and
how
more
it
opportunities to go, to get tickets to see this.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Sam, he's had worse ideas.
He's had tons of worse ideas.
That's for sure.
There's a laundry list, pal. An absolute laundry list. All right, it's going to get real busy from here on in, man, and we know you're going to be at the forefront for Sportsnet. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me on, and it was a lot of fun, and now back to business, and let's see how it shakes down. Sprint to the finish here.
Yeah, buddy.
That
see you
is
soon.
The host of Hockey Night in Canada and the NHL on Sportsnet, Mr. David Amber.
Love that guy.
Okay, so
he's being diplomatic. Just kick the rest.
So
no one cares about anything else. Just get Canada.
I've listened to you for 4 years saying, "Oh God, Olympics." Now you're ready to get rid of the Olympics.
I just want Canada and USA to matter.
To.
What's that?
It could be in addition to.
I just want Canada and USA to. Like, if you're going to do it,
take it easy on pulling blood out of a stone here. How much can these guys give?
Well, they're going to play 5 times at the World Cup, presumably.
So you're going to scrap all the other teams. All we really care about is Canada, U.S.
I do. That's all I care about.
You know what the NFL would
That's
do?
not a good
the thing
by
that
the
people
way.
want.
It's not a good thing.
Well, I think it is a good thing. I mean, if it's growing. America is where you want the game to grow the most. You want it to grow. I mean,
Europe's important.
Yeah, but they already like it. I don't know. It's like Canada.
I am. Hey, let's grow it globally. I'm looking forward to the whole World Cup thing. It would be huge in the U.S. if we said we're going toe to toe.
I got to tell you
5
something.
times.
That first week of Olympic hockey, bleh. No, it did nothing for me.
Yeah,
did nothing for me. Just get to the.
Did you watch it?
Yeah. No. How do you not watch? We had to talk about it.
That's true.
You wouldn't have watched? We had to talk about it?
No. Come on, give me the meaningful games.
Yeah, to me, I really enjoy the whole thing. I think it's fun. I'm pumped for the World
You're
Cup.
ready to get rid of it like he does.
For
Canada,
dessert,
US.
for dinner, dessert.
But this is okay. I don't know. This is going to be a wild take for me, but I look at that American team that they just played and just won. I mean, you got to, if you want to talk about growing the game, Gary, I mean, how many guys on that team are from Arizona, born in Florida? Like, that team is kind of a quantification. No.
Amalgamation.
Don't look at me.
What are you looking for?
Like something like it shows that the game has grown where like all these guys are born.
Okay.
Like, I mean, the captain is born in Arizona. I don't know. It kind of worked and they kind of beat Canada in a big game. I don't know. It just.
Gary did it.
Maybe the
Arizonans won.
I think they got Batman. I think they got a big challenge in 2 years for the World Cup because you got to decide first of all on Russia, and I don't know if you saw Ovi coming back to Washington and somebody asked him a kind of throwaway question: "Did you watch the Olympics?" And he said, "Nope," and left.
I bet Ovi's going to be incredible the final 25 games. That's my prediction.
But my point is like it's an NHL event, It's an NHL event. Yeah. And if you're going to invite, say, Germany or Switzerland wasn't in the last, they were in the World Cup, Switzerland, 2016.
Oh, I don't know. The one with like the team.
Yeah, it was It was not. It was, I think,
Team North America.
I don't know.
Canada, Sweden, Team North America, Russia, Team Europe.
Yeah, this is Team Canada.
Okay.
We don't get to have Connor McDavid. Cool event.
So they had Four Nations because they just wanted NHL players.
Yeah.
So what do you do 2 years from now? You stick with that and you don't have enough?
Well, when you say you just wanted NHL players, I don't think that's the case, but they wanted the NHL players,
No,
right?
they had them.
Yeah.
But you also could have filled out a roster for Sweden and Germany, but you needed to go get players that aren't playing in the NHL.
Yeah.
Will they do that now?
Oh, I am sure. Like we're good. The point of a World Cup is not the World NHL Cup. Just they're not going to play Switzerland, play with 8 guys. Like they're going to fill out a team.
Yeah.
But they didn't last year.
Well, but it seemed like it was a rushed thing. They didn't have, they just wanted to get the Cole's Notes version of it, right?
So you expect 6 nations for sure then.
Czechia,
8?
Slovakia, Switzerland, Germany.
Czechia couldn't even fill out a roster either.
But I don't need all NHL guys.
2 Nations Cup.
I know you don't, but they wanted it last year.
Who did?
The NHL and Gary Bettman, the PA in the NHL decided only NHL players.
But
so
I
Czechia didn't get invited,
right?
Because they didn't want non-NHLers.
So if you're reporting new news here. If the reason they didn't have other countries was because they didn't want players who weren't in the NHL, I don't think that's been reported anywhere. I hadn't heard that. That's why
I think it's been out there.
I've never heard that either.
No. Okay, that's my understanding. Anyways, I'll double check.
If that's the case,
Yeah.
well, then that means that the World Cup would be the same because you can't fill out a 5th country of only NHL players. That isn't Russia.
You may be right. You may be right that it was too rushed to go and ask other leagues to release their players, and that's what has to happen.
Yeah,
right. They're in other leagues.
I think we're going to hear in the next 2 weeks like where the World Cup will be, or at least some of the potential cities, and I think we'll probably better know which countries would be included. I would hope.
I have a question for you guys. I don't know if we want to do it now or want to do it after the break. Maybe it's too big a question, but do you think the next, I guess it's the World Cup, whatever that looks like, Doug Armstrong will be picking the team and John Cooper will be behind the bench?
Good question. Cooper will definitely be behind the bench.
Think?
I just think he's Canada's coach.
I think it's open for sure. Listen, Doug Armstrong's at a crossroads in his career, even with St. Louis Blues right now.
Right. Because Steen's taken over.
Does he stay on? Does he look for another job? Like I think he's got some options, and I don't know. He may have another year on his deal, maybe, and that will lock him in next year. Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
I think he's.
Let's see what he wants to do. He could retire.
He
could retire. He's been around a long time.
I think he does a great job, Kip, and I
actually a big opening in a big city.
No, I like Doug Armstrong.
And I do think that he would be open to changing, if we feel like we didn't have enough offense. I think he's the type of guy who'd be willing to go do that. So I don't think he's stubborn. Could be wrong there, but
Cooper for sure?
No, not for me.
No, me neither.
No.
Marner didn't play enough, right?
No, Marner played, I think, the 3rd most. I mean, the 4th most outside of the...
Yeah.
He played a lot. Yeah. Took a pretty regular shift.
Yeah,
I thought he was good.
Few guys, I think, that I just didn't like his flow. I just didn't like... I just thought guys needed to be involved more.
I do think that the way the Czech game and the Finn game played out kind of hosed him a little bit because you were behind early in both games.
Him.
Well, and
it stressed the lineup.
Not stress or not, it was like you needed one. And so, of course, you were trying to get the best guys out as much as possible.
Great point.
But three games where, like, Nate...
You're behind 3 times.
Was it just a lucky fluke he missed the empty net? Was he, is he hurt? Is he at 70%? How stressed was he? I don't know. He just didn't look himself. That's all.
No, he didn't.
And I don't think Connor looked himself on that breakaway either.
I mean, those guys play so many more minutes than that, and that's when they're playing more hockey games than they're playing at this event. I know you think the emotional part.
And just, some people are accusing Connor of wanting to do it all by himself in overtime. And
those some people, are you looking at me? Because I feel like he tried to overdo it a bit.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And it's not that it's an unfair comment, but
thank you.
When you when you've been asked so many times to
do it.
Yeah. And then you're the one guy that can actually do it.
But he's not.
Then,
but also,
he's not the only guy.
I know, but
it's a fair point.
But the perception is that I've done it before, right? Go watch my highlights in Edmonton. I can do this. I can go 200 feet, beat two guys, and score the game-winning goal.
We're going, okay, he's trying to take on three guys. He's trying to do too much. He's one-on-one with Jack Hughes, you guys. He had a forward skating backwards and beat him wide.
Yep. And then tried to jam it into the
Not
side.
going to curl back on Jack Hughes. Go. He wants to win the game.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. You don't need your D-man to dive in.
He just asked of himself what he's been asked time and time again. So I don't blame him for doing it. But it was a turnover. At the end of the day, it ended up just being a turnover of the puck.
It didn't work.
Right?
Hockey's hard.
Hockey's hard.
Last thing, haven't mentioned it. I think we've been pretty good boys. How do you not call too many men?
Oh, yeah.
How do you not call too many men?
They had 11 guys in the ice handling the puck.
Egregious.
Yeah.
I can't. I thought the officiating the whole way through was
I'm not going to get myself in trouble here because you guys know how I felt on Friday on the high stick.
Yeah.
And do I look like a tennis Nick Kypreos? The tennis guy?
Timu.
Right?
Timu, I forgot.
Now, is he Greek as well, Nick
Yeah,
Kypreos?
he is. Yes. Yeah, the names are really close, by the way.
To be fair, it's pretty close.
But anyways, it kind of lends to what I talked about on the high stick that I'm with you. I'm with you that it should have been called. Okay, let's start there. Okay. Too many men should have been called. But our game historically has left the officials to decide what they want to call and what they don't want to call in certain situations. That was a situational non-call where the official did what the officials have done for 75 years and for a split second say in their head, do I want to end the game on this call on a power play?
Statistically.
And the answer was no.
Statistically, penalties get called at a lower rate as you go deeper into a playoff series and deeper into the games. So to your point, in big moments, refs are like, I'm out.
That's all that happened.
This is up to you.
He saw it.
Managed the game.
He saw it and said, it's
so he should have
nothing play, and I'm not calling it.
People who are listening who are into stats right now would say that by making the decision to not call that, you're choosing to affect the game. You know, you're still having an impact on the game.
Shouldn't have called the high stick on Bennett then either.
We can say that for 100 years.
Shouldn't have called the high stick on Bennett then. Should have managed the game. It's too big a spot to call it.
But
it's too big a spot. Should have managed the game.
He's got the whistle.
Do you agree with that?
He's the whistle. He's the judge and jury.
But can I ask you that?
We've always left him that.
Should he have called the one on Bennett?
He did physical damage to the man.
But I mean, it was too big a spot. Why is it a high stick?
But
there's a line. There's an injury.
But there was 7 guys playing with the puck on the ice.
No, listen, it's a penalty.
I mean,
it's a penalty.
It's a penalty.
They're all penalties. They're all penalties.
It's not like they snapped it around anyway.
He holds the cards here.
Yeah.
And that hasn't changed in 100 years. That's all.
I felt
that's the point.
I felt like there was no chemistry with the officials. Felt like they tried to mesh together the two different federations.
Totally.
If it's over 50% NHLers, NHL rules.
But I think it was all NHL officials in that game.
But was the lines people?
I think
all NHL.
Sure they said if it was going to be Canada, USA,
okay.
All NHL guys.
All right.
But
I think for the most part, the double minor to Bennett and then the call on Hughes, it kind of they just balanced. It just there were right calls.
By the way,
were the right calls.
We've come this far and we haven't given Bennett any criticism for that moment because I think they killed it off. Didn't end up impacting the game. But you also robbed Canada of 4 minutes of 5-on-5 play where they had been dominating.
Yep.
Maybe that 4 minutes is where they find the one.
He was out of control of the stick.
We talked about when he charged the net.
You know,
you're at the mercy. You brought him over.
Yep.
That's part of the equation. And like the officials, you have to accept it.
And so you got to stand here today and say, guys who play on the line. Tom Wilson was fantastic.
Oh my God!
He found line.
Did Dylan Larkin play?
How have we not talked about that?
Did he play after that?
I can't believe he walked again. What a hit! and Wilson walked the line. Bennett didn't find it. That ultimately,
those are fair comments.
Yeah,
has
totally
a big impact.
But that's the game.
Sure is. Okay.
Sammy, is there other sports going on?
I've been sent the picture side by side of McKinnon with the open net and IKF's trying to stand it on for home plate.
What are you doing?
People have sent that to me. Like, I want to say conservatively 50 times. Just stop sending me that. I've had enough.
How about the picture of you beside Matthew Tkachuk, where you still look nothing like Matthew Tkachuk?
Yeah. It's game time. Presented by Bet365. Visit the app, latest odds, and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 18 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. And to answer your question, Kyper, there's NBA going on. Hockey's 2 more. Could they give him like an extra day or 2, maybe? Like, could we start hockey on Friday, maybe?
No, how about we do it tomorrow? It's been long enough.
It's just so quick. I don't know.
But
Flying back, getting into a game
Leagues are
Wednesday.
shut down for 20 days now.
the schedule is gross.
In
Of the
terms of
amount of
volume
games,
of hockey?
the volume, and what these guys are going to have to do to close out this series or this season is like an ask beyond belief. Like it's going to be like 15 games every night. It's unbelievable.
I can't wait. I feel bad for the guys, but I can't wait.
So what I'm opening up Bet365, and the opening page has some NBA lines for tonight. So the San Antonio Spurs in Detroit to take on the Pistons. Great game if you're an NBA fan. Wemby going against the league-leading Detroit Pistons. Plus 105 on the money line for the San Antonio Spurs. Minus 125 for the Detroit Pistons. The surprise of the NBA this year, Cade Cunningham leading the way for the Pistons. That's the proper response to regular season basketball. And that was Game Time, presented by Bet365. Visit the app, latest odds, and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
We'll be
When
back.
are you going to do one for how far this new Blue Jay can hit a baseball, Locomotive?
Ooh. You call him Locomotive? Please tell me you called him that.
He did.
The Locomotive.
I know now he's doing it like he didn't.
I like it.
Okay, that's his handle, man.
He's the engine.
I can't tell you how bad I needed that today, boys. I saw that clip and
Just
I
he
almost
hits at 4:30 to dead center. It's like, yeah, it was nice.
I don't care if it's spring training. That was big league cut. So I like that. Right again in Bo Bichette's eye, playing for the Mets on the other side there, who can't field a ground ball.
Yeah, they're already on boats.
Anyways, let's hit the break and then we'll come back out.
Okay, we'll go around the league. Who's in and who's out in the National Hockey League? There are some casualties. We'll discuss them after the break. You're watching and listening to Real Kyper and Bourne. Welcome back to the program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. A reminder, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. As we mentioned, gets real busy Wednesday night.
Yeah. What?
Nothing. Sometimes our in the break combos are very good.
Don't say that.
I'm just
Don't say that because now people are going to think we're holding back.
We can do it.
Listen,
We can do it. The Gaudreau stuff was the most beautiful, humanizing part of the whole thing.
totally.
And, you know, the hurt as Canadians, as you watch that, you're reminded that there's more important things.
That when I looked up at the TV, moments after one of the most heartbreaking moments I can, remember for hockey, and seeing them parade that jersey around there, it did soften the blow 1%.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then you see them go in and talk to Trump and laugh at the women and the FBI directors in their party, and you're like, oh, I hate you all.
Oh,
again.
it's like, oh yeah, now this is way worse. That's way worse.
And the
Why is
women,
that guy there?
the women have declined the invitation to go to the White
Shocker.
House.
And in a very classy manner, that no reference to it, just said prior commitment.
I just can't imagine getting to the pinnacle of your sport and then just
Listen,
hearing that clip. You'd be
Again,
so upset.
I am so curious to see which NHLers can go, particularly the ones that have to play Wednesday. Like, if you really think about their last 48 hours and the lack of sleep,
Oh my!
and they're drinking like fishes.
Oh,
we know
God.
that.
Yeah,
we know that.
Trocheck was like, I'm getting wasted tonight. He like mouthed it to someone. It's like,
So
hang on.
think about like the flight,
Yeah. Oh,
right? How dehydrated they are.
they are going to be dogs on
and
Wednesday.
then
Dogs.
you're asking them to fly to Washington from Miami, and then possibly if you're Austin Matthews flying back to play 2 games in 2 nights
Against two very good teams.
What do you think? What do you think Brad Tree Living's suggesting?
To Austin?
Yeah.
Drink lots of
No.
Pedialyte?
No.
and
Try. Don't
go
go.
to bed?
Try. Don't go.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%.
Don't go.
That's-
Please don't go.
I think.
It puts pressure on his performance on the Wednesday if he goes.
Yeah,
That's for
Amber.
sure.
I at the end of the day, I know he's the captain, and I know, but like the Leafs have to have some power over that. If they say don't go, I don't think you should go. Right?
I don't know, Sam. I don't know. I think it's
Certainly used
too
to.
big. It's too big and it's too powerful for. They haven't won a gold medal since 1980.
The Stars-
It is a big deal.
Yeah.
Here's the one thing that, like,
But how is it related to the State of the Union
Just-
address?
how
Do you know what I mean? Like, that is huge for the U.S.,
It-
okay?
but it
You need to go talk about the
when
inflation
you-
rates and be there to
when you-
talk about how it's the greatest economy in the world.
When politicians go and hook themselves up to athletes or gold medals, it's because you can help me.
Yes, of
Right?
course. But how does this help the athletes? Like, why?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That you're gonna have to ask each individual.
You know what? I think it's hard. So they've said they're going to go. They're all in there. They're drinking. They're talking to the president. I think it's going to be hard for Matthews or whoever. And I'm thinking of high school peer pressure to say to the other guys, I can't come, guys. My game's too important to me. And I think that's a big. You're paid millions to be the captain. I think you have to be mature enough to say.
I just don't
I gotta be
understand
there.
if. Okay, I get him. I get. Trump wants him for the State of the Union, but like this should be a June thing, a
Yes.
July thing.
There's lots of
Don't
time
you
to
guys
do
can
it.
have
Don't
your
ask
moment
them
for this.
They've put so much on the line the last 2 weeks. They're exhausted.
Yeah.
Like, let them rest, please.
Totally. There's
Let them rest.
absolutely a place for them to go do that in June, July.
It's
if they wanna be
dangerous. I think it's
judged and-
dangerous for them.
I couldn't agree. For Matthews' like legacy or whatever. I mean, getting that gold medal as the captain really solidifies him in the States. Like, I think, they will, all of them, that gold medal there, I don't know if there's anybody Americans listening to this, probably to hear our tears, but for him to get that gold medal, that is far more important to any American than him winning a Stanley Cup is. Like, him
I totally agree.
Him
Do you
getting,
really?
oh,
Oh, yeah.
him
Oh, yeah.
getting that.
No.
being the
He captained
First
a
time-
modern day
Two Americans.
gold medal.
That's what I mean. To Americans.
Two Americans.
That's
Oh,
what
no,
I'm saying. It's a
they don't care
huge
about the
deal.
Leafs.
legacy.
They don't care
No.
if he ever wins a Stanley Cup. They don't care if he ever makes the playoffs again.
Yeah.
To Sam's point, he's locked in as the captain of the 2026 gold medal team.
This helps him when you're looking back. I mean, he's going to score however many more goals in his career. He's going to, I mean, who knows what he's going to do team success when it comes to the NHL. But when you're having conversations about who the greatest American hockey players of all time are, him being the captain of the first team since the Miracle on Ice to win the gold medal is going to be thrown in there.
As host SNL?
No, it's good. I mean, that wouldn't be the most electric event, I wouldn't
But
think.
we just got him to smile. Please. Don't rush things.
It's hard for me because it's been a hard year and a half for Matthews. But at my core, I've defended this guy as a Toronto Maple Leaf. And, people have been saying that I've been running him out of town and all this stuff. But, I'm happy for the guy.
Yeah.
He's taken a lot of crap from everybody, myself included. And he went down there and they won. And he was the captain and he's the captain of the Leafs. I'm happy for the guy. I hate to admit
never
it.
take it away from him.
You can't. So now that the Leafs have a champion, they should be going for it. That last playoff spot.
But if he goes and misses a game on Wednesday and prioritize some Leafs fans, they're going to be like, oh, cool.
There's going to be a lot of...
You made the comparison to Vince Carter. Wasn't that graduation on the day of a playoff game?
It was game 7.
Yeah, it was game 7 against the Sixers. Or game 6. I think it was game 6 or game 7 against the Sixers. And, he went to his graduation. I think there's... I don't know. It's a hard one. It's a tough one for me.
Yeah.
Rantanen will miss probably, I heard, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. But, again...
They're in the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs. They're fine. Some of these guys could really use some rest. Yeah. Sid, any word on Sid?
Didn't hear anything.
It sounds like he was legitimately very close to playing, and I don't think that's...
So is that another week, 2 weeks?
I think ready to play in a game of this magnitude versus should he play in game 58 are different things. So, 2 weeks.
I'm curious to see what Florida does, particularly Brad Marchand. A lot of suggestions I got was he's done for the year.
He was that hurt and playing?
Done for the year?
Well.
Maybe you could have taken Zach Hyman then.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see. I don't know. Maybe he does what he did Sunday morning and just find a way to hang in there for a couple of games to see if they can get on a roll. But he is really what I had heard, right there with Sid. Yeah. I could easily not play.
Well, then why?
But there wasn't there.
But he was banged up going into it.
Yeah, sure was. Wasn't there another Panther that also maybe is Matthew Tkachuk?
Bennett.
Matthew
I think
Tkachuk
you were talking
hurt though.
Seems
like he's always on the verge of hurt. I don't know.
Yeah, but they got some important games here still to I guess feel it out. I think a lot of these teams are looking at 2 or 3 games before really deciding on.
Panthers are 8 points out. If
they're going to do the right thing. They're going to shut everybody down. They're going to sell.
Get surgery early, sell players they can.
And they're going to come back next year and be the best team in the league.
What are we hearing on Kadri?
Oh, he actually talked today. We have a clip.
Leads my trade boards.
We have boys, for the first time in 2 weeks.
Audio clip.
A clip. There's 2 clips. Let's just play the second one. That second one's more relevant to this conversation. Derek, we can play Kadri clip 2, please, bud.
I'm sorry to bring it back to the trade, but have there been any discussions with management at all about your future?
We've had internal chats. Obviously those I'll keep private, but we've had discussions and communicated. I think that's what makes it great is having that open line of conversation and just being able to understand where everybody's at.
Article on Sportsnet.ca from Eric Francis. Headline is Kadri trade feels all but inevitable for Flames.
Of course it is. He's not getting any younger. He's not making the playoffs for you, and you got to move him now.
Yeah.
And there's a demand at center ice.
Oh yeah, he's a valuable piece still for them.
You've mentioned Dallas a couple times when we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Where else?
I don't know if Colorado can do it. They're awfully tight, but they would like it. They would like to think that they could take a run at him. Montreal.
Yeah.
Right?
Dad loves the Habs, too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So he's going somewhere.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. We also have another piece of audio if anyone's interested.
Do we have time? This is a great clip. This is Maurice got asked about the Finland rumors yesterday at practice. Let's play it. Clip Maurice on the Finland rumors.
You heard the Finland report about you?
Yeah, I got a bunch of texts. Yeah,
That's silliness. I think somebody got confused with Tuomo. There was a Panther coach on the bench. It just wasn't me.
Interested in coaching Team Finland?
No, they got too many good coaches over in Finland. They don't need me. I'm born in Canada. I'm a U.S. citizen. I think I'll stay in Fort Lauderdale for these tournaments. It worked out just fine.
That's exactly what Kyper said. That's what made me laugh about it. That like he was pretty happy to have a month off, have his feet up in Fort
100%.
Lauderdale.
100%.
Yeah.
What did Philip Forsberg say?
Let's play it quick. You can play it. Clip one.
No, obviously, not necessarily when the game started, but when I got there, saw the lineup, was obviously a little surprised. But like I said, there's a lot of really good players in that team, and I certainly believe that I am one of them as well. But like I said, guys, just tough competition, and at the same time, I obviously would have preferred to play a little bit more, not just that game, but through the whole tournament. But at the same time, guys did well. We won first game, and obviously against Finland, they changed it up a little bit. I got to play a little bit in that second half and play the rest. And it's a tight tournament, so I get it. It's you understand it to a certain point as well.
That's based on his benching in game one.
Yeah, Sweden, the big L from that event for me. They just...
Old Black Betty, Sam Halam?
Yeah, old Sam Halam.
Oh, Black Betty.
Wasn't great.
Our thanks to Gord Stellick in our first hour and David Amber in the second one. All right, boys.
Never have to talk about it again. On to the NHL tomorrow, boys.
Are we done Olympic talk tomorrow?
Forever.
Yeah. We'll sneak a few things in.
No, we won't.
Leafs, fourth line talk. Should they trade Robertson? We're back.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you get a chance, give us a rating and review. We would love to hear from you. Have a great night, everybody.